Hey guys, I am back with the promised third and final video of the day. Obviously, it's been a very Spyro themed video and a set of videos today because I actually planned on doing a Spyro video, and then they announced the game and I figured, well, now I have to do two more. So here we are, we're doing the trailer breakdown, and so right here I'm going to let play a little bit before I talk more about the trailer. And so there we are, guys. There's our first look at Spyro, and they seem to be taking a very light-hearted tone, just like the original games, which is perfect. That means they're doing it justice, just like they did Crash Bandicoot justice. Honestly, it needs to be done this way. It can't really be a more realistic or scaly look. It needs to be this more animated tone, and I'm really glad, for example, the design of Spyro here, what they went for. As we can see here, the transition from old graphics to new graphics is absolutely incredible. Obviously, the old graphics were a much more detailed for the time. Thoreau world is bigger and expansive than Crash Bandicoot, so there wasn't a ton of like foliage you could add. And it looks like they really did it justice to making it look like a very modern game, while still keeping that original tone. You can see the Firefly there still. You can still see the movement is the same, and honestly, that's one of the most important things, is making sure it looks and plays like the classics, but in a way that's recognizable today, that makes sense, and honestly, it looks like they've done a really, really good job with it. And so obviously we caught him mid-roll, but just as the screen just before this said, the same slick moves. They're keeping everything the same. They're bringing back the old moves and upgrades and everything else that Spyro experienced way back in the day. It's all going to be brought back. It's all going to play just the same, so it's going to feel familiar and comfortable. I don't recall there being different movement systems, but I don't know, so don't quote me on that. We might get the Crash Bandicoot treatment if there were different movement systems, but it's going to be extremely accurate, just like in Crash Bandicoot, to the original game. And so just like in the original game, there were sheep that you're able to burn up, and it looks like they made them all cute and animal and, you know, adorable, just like the original game managed to do for the graphics at the time, of course. But also, just before this scene, we heard him say, "You're toast," and it seems like they're bringing back, I don't know if they're going to be the same, you know, voice or whatever, same audio files, whatever. It sounds very accurate to the original. I don't know if you ever played the original games. Spyro is very, very much sounded like a kid, and the idea is that he is a younger kid dragon. And it seems like it's very much replicating that old voice. Now, we already knew this, but in case you wanted to, you know, reconfirm, yes, this is the original trilogy. It's Spyro the Dragon, then Ripto's Rage, then Spyro Year of the Dragon. So, all three games is not just the first one. I know a lot of the gameplay from these trailers are from the first one and all the images. And a little bit from the third one, but it is going to be all three games fully remastered. Now, I did want to stop it here just to show all three games had an extremely similar movement system. I know some games, for example, you went underwater when you didn't in others, but they all had a very similar on-land movement system and flying system with different small upgrades. So it looks like they're keeping it consistent, again, like I said earlier, with the classic games. Just something important I thought I'd point out there. So there we are. This is the official confirmation. Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy, is coming and is going to be announced here in a minute, just the release date. And I do like this look. I like the logo. I think it looks like a very updated version of the classic logo. And I just hope that they can refine the box art, and some of the other videos talked about it, but it's really, really ugly, so I'm really hoping they're refining that. And as you can see here, and it is coming this September. I don't know why there's no date. I feel like this trailer may have been completed for, you know, maybe a week or two now, or may have been worked on, and they didn't have the official date, but online news sources such as IGN have already confirmed September 21st is going to be the official release date. I'm hyped. You should be hyped. This is one of the greatest PS1 trilogies, just up there with, right up there with Crash Bandicoot. But we're going to be covering it, especially as it gets closer and closer, and we'll be talking about Crash Bandicoot and all this other stuff. I'm sorry if I didn't have as much knowledge on this trailer as I did the Spider-Man trailer. I played a lot of Spyro 2 back in the day, which was Ripto's Rage, but not as much of 1 and 3, so I only had so much knowledge in terms of the actual game locations. But graphically, it will have Xbox One X upgrades, it'll have PS4 Pro upgrades. We'll be talking about all of it. Stay tuned to STG.